So we'll start with the 14th chapter, okay, stealing and atonement. Oh, before that, we after the Indian weavers, okay, we finished Indian weavers. Now we have the 13th chapter, the last stonemason. David, have I done the 13th chapter with you before? The last stonemason?
No, no, ma'am. We didn't finish.
And then
Um, yes, I think so. I remember the last
okay,
one. Yeah.
okay, okay. Now there are um, various art and crafts that people have made throughout the centuries, okay? Throughout the span of time, throughout the years, there are various things, many things that people make, okay? And those are traditional, means something that is related to their culture, something that is related to the place where they are born, okay? Something that is a heritage from for them, and also they often their families they carry this thing like generation to generation. Say the grandfathers used to make something, and then that thing, the craft, the traditional, maybe sculpting, maybe some craft, maybe some handmade material or thing, okay, then the children would make that, and then their children would make that, so this goes on. Okay, a similar story is there in this chapter. Okay, something similar is happening in this chapter. We have a stone mason. Okay, story about a stone mason. And what is a stone mason? Is it's somebody who makes statues out of stone. Okay, carves them out of stone. Is a stone mason. Now see, these people who are, artisans, we call them artisans. Why? Because they make the art and craft and these traditional crafts. Okay, these artisans, they are not able to earn a lot of money. Okay, because there are very few people who purchase these art. Okay, who buy the arts and craft. There are very few people, and also they struggle to make both ends meet, means to fulfill their needs. Okay, they sometimes struggle to do that. Okay, so let's give this a quick read. Our traditional art and craft, which are an important part of our culture and heritage, are dying out. Why are these traditional crafts dying out? Maybe it is because the handicrafts trade does not fetch much money. Also, you must have seen that there are things, there are types of art and craft that used to like be there, that used to exist, but it's not there anymore. Okay, you cannot find that particular art anymore, but it was there earlier because no one makes that anymore. Okay, why? Why? The reason is that it doesn't earn much money. It doesn't earn people much money. Okay, artisans struggle hard to make both ends meet. They don't have adequate material to make products. They need market to sell their products, but there isn't much demand for their products. The young artisans want to earn more money and are in the favor of mass production of items that can be produced quickly rather than by hand. This makes them leave their family handicraft industry. Should they do this? Should we let a traditional arts and craft die out? Can we do anything to stop it? Now, young people, okay, we believe in mass producing. Okay, we are not, the young people don't have that much of patience, that much of, um, putting into something, the art and craft, like sitting and doing it by hand, takes a lot of hard work. Okay, but we believe in getting it done through machines. Okay, we believe in getting it reduced and bulk quantity by machine, okay, rather than sitting and doing it by hand. So this has led to, the loss of many art and craft culture, okay, in the culture, the loss of many art and crafts, the traditional, um, antiques. This has led to the loss of that, okay. Now also the children, many a times, they do not want to continue in the profession of their parents, okay. Like in many professions, in many places, see, if the father is a businessman, he wants the son to grow up and take over the business, okay. But maybe the son does not want that and he wants to become a singer, he wants to do something else, okay. So that is also one of the reasons, okay, the children, when they grow up, they want to do something else, okay. So that is why they do not continue in that business, or what the traditional family business that's been going on. Okay, now let's give a read to the chapter. A sculptor loves to carve beautiful statues. He loves his art and is totally committed to it, regardless of the financial difficulties he faces in doing his work. Let us enter into the small world of an old artist and see what his son has to say to his father. The young man threw the hammer and chisel to the ground and cried, I am leaving you, father. I am leaving you and your work. Look what it has brought us. Okay. Now the young boy, he threw the hammer and chisel. Hammer and chisel are tools to carve statues. Okay. Chisel is a pointed tool. Okay. Through which you chisel out the shapes of a statue, and the hammer is how you break the pieces of the stone. Okay, chisel and hammer. Threw them to the ground and cried, I'm leaving you, father. I'm leaving you and your work. Look what it has brought us. So he's frustrated here. Okay. He spread out his arms. Look at the small, congested dark room. The slabs of stone and marble stacked up in one corner. The cot covered with heaps of used clothes. The paint of whitewashed walls has come off. Look what it has brought us. Nothing. Nothing. The young man repeated in anger. This kind of work just doesn't pay. Okay. Now the condition of the room is described. Okay, it is a small, congested, dark room. The slabs of stone and marble are stacked up in one corner. What are these slabs? These slabs are some, stone slabs which are used to make statues. Okay, which are used to make various things, various objects of stone. Okay, the cot covered with heaps of used clothes. Okay, and the paint of the whitewash walls have come off, and he's saying that this work has brought us nothing. Okay, and it doesn't pay, means it doesn't give you enough money, it doesn't make enough money. The old man stared at his son. His voice, though trembling, had not lost its usual gentleness. So he says to his son, it is not the money alone that matters, son. It is the service, our service to God. Okay. Now this old man, he doesn't just take this business as way of earning money, but a way of serving God. Okay. The reason being that this stonemason, he makes statues for the temples. Okay. He makes or carves out statues for the temple, for various temples, and he takes this work as not only a source of earning money, but as a source of as a service that he gives to God. Father, times have changed, and so has the stonemason's work. You cannot live carving sculptures for temples only. Come on, father. You have to mass produce like all the other people in Agra. Okay, the story is based in Agra. This is their place where they're living is Agra, and his father, like I said, only makes statues for the temples. So the son is telling him that this is not enough, like making only statues for the temples is not enough, you have to make other things also. Okay, you have to carve you can make other things also, decorations and all, and you have to mass produce like all the other people in Agra do. Okay, mass produce means making things in a bulk quantity, in a lot of quantity. Hello, Miraculin. Good morning.
Hi, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good
We
morning.
are on the last stonemason chapter, Miraculin,
Okay.
lesson 13, the last stonemason. The lines around the old man's mouth tightened. He said, "No, my son, this is the work I have learned from my father, and he had learned from his father. We have kept up this tradition for hundreds of years, and I hope you would continue our work." Now, this is a family business that's been going on for hundreds of years. The stonemason, he learned from his father, and his father had learned from his father. And now he hopes that his son would also continue the work. "No, father, there is so much more money in candle stands, paperweights, ashtrays, and plates for tourists." The young man walked out of the room angrily. Okay, he's saying that, "Father, there is so much more money in making candle stands, paperweights, ashtrays, places for tourists." The old man sat before the half finished marble statues of Radha and Krishna. Okay, he's making a statue of Radha and Krishna, which are Hindu gods. Okay, he dropped his hands into his lap and closed his eyes. He was praying. He did not seem to listen to the hesitant goodbye. The son called out from the door. He sat still. Okay, now, the son also said goodbye to his father, but he didn't listen to it. Okay, it seemed as if he didn't listen to it, but he sat in a posture to pray. Master Ji, Salim, the servant boy, entered the workshop. Okay, his father had a servant boy also. They had a servant boy named Salim, and he called out Master Ji and entered the workshop. His voice was filled with concern. He held a cup of tea in his hand, and the old man lifted his head. He had a pale face and looked old and tired. Okay, the old man, he had a pale face, looked old and tired. He said, "Salim, soon I'll be the last stonemason here, as everyone has gone to Agra. Look now, Gopal, my son, has gone too." Okay. He's saying that soon I'll be the last stonemason in Agra. Okay. Because his son has gone too. Now, the old man looked at the orphan boy Salim and said, "I have very little strength. Okay. I have very little strength. I can't work with a chisel the way I used to. Carving takes too long a time. I have to finish the work, and I will." Okay. So he is weak now because he's old, and also the carving works take a long time to do. Okay. Now the boy offered tea to the man and said, "Please drink this, it will do you good." "Yes, I know you will finish this work." Okay. The old man sighed and picked up the chisel and the hammer. He loved his work and didn't want to change it for any other work in the world. He had love for the work that he did. Okay. For days together, the man worked continuously without taking any rest. His one desire was to finish the sculpture, which would be his last. Okay. He, worked very hard every day, day by day, without resting. And this was like the statue of Radha and Krishna that he was making. And he thought that this is the last statue that I'll make, because he was growing very old and weak and he got tired easily. And to work with hammer and chisel, it takes a lot of strength. It is not something very simple. Okay, it's not something like drawing on the paper, but you have to actually carve out stone. Okay, so it is a difficult work, and he didn't feel the strength in him for it. So he decided that he will make the statue and then he'll stop. Okay. So he worked till his hands began to tremble and his shoulders started to ache. His arms grew heavy and his eyes grew tired. And then he couldn't see anymore. At that moment, Salim returned. He saw the old man and asked him to eat some food. The old man whispered, I am not going to finish it. I will not complete it. Okay. Means this statue. The statue he is telling about that he now thinks that he will not be able to complete it because he's feeling very tired and he feels as if he might faint. Okay. Then he says, if Gopal was here, it would have been different. Although he was not a good sculptor, he had difficulty in carving the face and hands properly. There was something missing in his fingers, and that something cannot be taught. Okay, here it talks about the old man talks about maybe skill. Okay, skill was missing in the son Gopal. Okay, there's something in his fingers that is missing. Okay, and that something cannot be taught. Maybe it was also the desire to serve. Okay, it was skill. It was the desire to serve. It was the love for the work. Okay, everything means these certain things that makes us do a certain work with that much of interest. Okay, with that much of desire that we put our heart into it. But that thing was not here, and that cannot be taught. Okay, putting your heart into something is not something that can be taught. Okay, now Salim whispered, because it comes from somewhere deep inside you. You were right, Salim, the old man added. If you don't have it inside you, then you'd better go to Agra and mass produce ashtrays for the tourists. Okay, it's important that you have it inside you. Okay, and if you don't have that, it's better that you just go to Agra and mass produce the objects. The boy asked Master Ji to eat, and after feeling a little better, the old man picked up his hammer and chisel again and worked till late in the night. In those days, he prayed a lot. He kept praying a lot. Now he prayed for help and strength, and he prayed for his son. In the early hours of the morning, the chisel fell from the old man's hand. The hammer dropped to the ground, and he fainted. So after just a couple days in early morning, he like the chisel and the hammer fell from his hands and he fainted. When the old man opened his eyes, he found himself on the cot in his bedroom, covered by a light cotton blanket. From the workshop, the chipping sound of the chisel reached his ears. He listened. Had he heard correctly? He could hear it again. Strong blow of the hammer on top of a chisel. Okay, now he woke up after the fainting. He woke up on the cot. Cot is a bed, okay, but not actually a bed. More like a solid piece of wood, okay, not proper, not a proper bed, but more like that. Those beds that you see in villages, the more lightweight ones, okay, that's a cot in his bedroom covered by a light cotton blanket. So he could hear the sound of chisel, okay, in his ears. So he thought that, am I hearing correctly? And he could hear it again, the strong blow of hammer on top of a chisel. He thought Gopal, he was back. Gopal had returned. He should help him. They would finish the statue together. He was very happy. He thought Gopal has come. Okay. But then weakly he walked to the door. Gopal, he was about to say, but the words froze on his lips. Okay. He wanted to say, but he was, dumbfounded. He was very surprised. And so he could not speak the words. No, he wanted to cry out, stop the work. But he couldn't move and stood staring at the young stone carver working at the face of the statue. But it wasn't his son Gopal, but it was his Salim. He was Salim, his servant. The old man watched, stunned, unable to speak. Anger gave way to a feeling of admiration. Okay, means now the anger, he wasn't now angry, but slowly, like as he watched him do it, he, you know, was filled with admiration. And he said, "Hi, Ram," the old man whispered. Okay, means this is like sighed or whispered. Okay, "Hi, Ram." Finally, when the weakness had left him, he walked over to the boy, put his hand on his shoulder, and said, "Salim." The boy started. Okay, he was startled, means a little bit surprised. He turned, looking up at his master. I only wanted to help, he whispered. I, I learn if you teach me, Master Ji. I have been practicing secretly for almost 2 years in the quarry. I know I should not have done this, but isn't this different, Master Ji? This is sculpture, isn't it? Okay, he said that he's been practicing for the last 2 years secretly. Okay, and he also said that, will you teach me, Master Ji? If you teach me. The old man pulled the boy's head against his shoulder and whispered, "There is nothing I can teach you, my son. Go ahead, you have it in your heart. I know you will be one of the best stonemasons India will ever have." Okay, so he like hugged him and he said that you have it in your heart. Okay, you'll be one of the best stonemasons India will ever have. This is a story written by Shigrun Srivastav. Okay, now, hope you like the story. Any doubt in the story? Any doubt in any para, any point?
No, ma'am. There's no doubt.
Mm. Oh. David and Miraculum?
No, ma'am.
No,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. All right. Let's see if we have some word meanings to check out. No word meanings. Okay. Part 1 of the story. Can anybody read the summary of part 1 of the story, which starts from the young man and ends at he sat still?
There are often differences in young people's ideas and opinions and older people's ideas. Do these differences cause problems between young and old people, between parents and children? This is a story about a difference of opinion between an old man and his son, and what happens as a result. The old man makes statues. He is a sculptor. He is poor, but he loves his work. He believes that making stones of God and goddesses out of stone is like worshipping God. Because this is the work uh, God wants him to do, he makes each statue lovingly and patiently. He wants his son to learn the same art and continue the family tradition, but his son thinks that carving statues for temples by hand takes too long and does not help them earn much money. He wants to make things that will be easier and can you scroll?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, father to carve so that he will able to make them in large numbers for rich tourists to buy. Uh, in this way, it will be possible to earn much more money and end this poverty. He says goodbye to his sad father and the family profession and leaves his home angrily.
Yes. Okay. Now, 13.1 is an activity. Okay. And a question. You belong to a family of artisans, and some of them have won awards. You are educated and also qualified for an office job. Your parents want you to carry forward their traditional craft, but they have given you freedom to also take your own decision. What would you do? Explain with reason in 2 sentences. Some options are there. Okay, what would you do? I want all of you to answer this. all of you to answer this one by one?
The C1 man. You would accept the other job, but at the same time would continue with the traditional craft.
Okay. C1. Okay, Miracle. What about Haniel and David?
Ma'am, option C.
Option
C.
B.
C.
C.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, David and Haniel.
Yes, ma'am. An option C.
Option C. Okay. Okay. Now there are some questions that we will do based on the chapter. What was the old man's profession and what was his attitude to his work?
Graving stone and making statues.
Yes, that's right. And his attitude towards his work? Anyone? Anyone?
Yeah, ma'am. He was focused on his work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He loved his work. He was passionate about his work. He was hardworking also. Okay, he thought that the work that he does is his service to God. Okay, that is his attitude towards his work. Okay. The young man threw his hammer and the chisel to the ground. Why do you think he did so?
Because he was frustrated.
Yes, because he was frustrated, he was upset that the work that they were doing, his father was doing, did not make much money. How did the old man learn carving and what did he expect from his son?
Um, he learned carving from his father. He expected his son to carry forward his traditional craft.
Yes, Miraculum, that's right. Okay. Pick the suitable option to complete the statement given below. The young man decided to leave his father and his work because,
He wanted to earn money, more money.
yes, he wanted to earn more money. What was the young man's opinion about his father's work? Do you think he was right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what was his opinion about his father's work?
That he should like not just make statues, that he should make other things like ashtrays and um canvas, I think canvas stands, let's say. So,
Candles, stands, plates for tourists and all. And also he should mass produce those items. Okay.
yeah.
Yes, David. Okay, next question. What did Gopal suggest to his father and what was his father's response?
Yeah, he suggested that his father should shift to Agra and change his profession. Um, the old man's response was that it was service to God and he wanted to keep the 100-year-old tradition and continue to do his work.
Yes. In the fifth question, when it asks opinion, you can also write that the young man thinks that the work that the father is doing or this work doesn't make much money. Okay,
Yeah.
that also. Use suitable words or phrases from the box to replace the italicized part of the sentence given below. In the place of these underlined words, you have to choose a word from the box and replace it in the sentences. Okay. First one. Piles of old and discarded things lay in the courtyard for a number of days after Suman's house was whitewashed. This marred the beauty of the house.
Keeps.
Heaps. Yes, that's right. Next one. The dowry system in Indian society is a bad custom. It must be abolished.
Tradition.
Tradition. Yes. When we visited the construction site of our new house, we found a lot of bricks piled up neatly near the fence.
Stacked up.
Stacked up. Yes. Last one. The salesman could not tell us the price of the shirt I liked because its price tag got removed when he was arranging the new stock on the shelves.
It came off, ma'am.
Came off. Yes, that's right. Okay. Now we will stop here for today. Okay. We will stop here for today and we will be meeting tomorrow for class. Request all of you to please join on time. Your time is 7:45 a.m. Okay. Please log in by 7:45 a.m. from tomorrow onwards. Okay. Because I'll just
The presentation submission date was 8th,
8.
no? June 8th.
Yes.
Okay.
Raglan, 8th June. Okay. 8th June, we will do the presentations and log in. All of you, please log in tomorrow at 7:45. And also, please make sure your videos are on from tomorrow onwards. Okay. You all have to keep the videos on and log in timely. Okay. That's all for today. Have a good day. Bye.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am. Thank you.
Bye.